Hello class, my name is Andrea Oliveira, and for Modern European Art 2, I will be focusing on the Surrealist artist Meret Oppenheim. Meret Oppenheim was a Swiss artist who made a place for herself at a very young age in the Surrealist movement, shortly after moving to Paris, in which she'd contribute some of the most powerful and recognized works of the Surrealist movement. At the time, women were only accepted in the Surrealist art circles as mistresses or artistic muses of inspiration. But Oppenheim broke the circuit and established herself as a participating artist in 1936, when she produced the famous object, or Breakfast in Fur, which would become the sculptural work she is most associated with, and which would give her her famous reputation for giving everyday domestic objects disturbing, humorous, and erotic darkness. Although this piece gave Oppenheim her fame at a very young age of 22, she also referred to this piece as her prison. She often thought people reduced her as an artist when they only wanted her to do these types of sculptures. But the Surrealist works of Oppenheim would vary from photography, fashion, poetry, paintings, and other sculptures. Her works would reflect her explorations of the female sexuality, identity, and exploitation. And she often painted dreamlike narratives with haunting themes as projections of her own dreams. The piece I will be discussing is Meret Oppenheim's Das Leiden der Genoveva, which translates to The Suffering of Genoveva. Oppenheim's The Suffering of Genoveva is a dreamy, phantasmatic painting in oil pastels on gray paper. The composition is mostly made up of soft lines and edges, where the objects seem to recede into their backgrounds or their surroundings. These soft edges of the painting creates a dreamlike effect. Cold colors such as muted blues, dark teals, and grays fill the sky, creating a mysterious, somber atmosphere. Overall, the composition uses muted chromatic grays, with the exception of an illuminated carriage, bright red roses, and the pale warm colors of a woman in the nude directly in the center of the composition, creating contrast and intended attention. Oppenheim started recording her dreams from a young age, and it's believed that her paintings, such as these, are her dreamt projections. The work depicts a woman floating over the earth as if she is living an out-of-body experience. Floating near her is a golden carriage of roses, transporting what seems to be the devil, a demon, or a symbol of death. Death seems to be staring at her while she floats away, staring back with a melancholy expression. Although there is not much research on Oppenheim's intended message in The Suffering of Genoveva, I believe Oppenheim was intending to depict the woman eroticized. One element, the red roses, are classic symbols of female sexuality. Distinctively, the woman is depicted without arms, suggesting that her arms are tied behind her back or that she is a slave. In other works, such as Ma Gouvernante, Oppenheim addresses themes of sex, cannibalism, and bondage. The white scuffed heels tied up have a sinister erotic undertone that reminds me of the woman floating helplessly without arms. This no arms message could also be a symbol that women are not as strong as men, symbolism being parallel to women not having the same freedoms as men in society. Surrealism explores fantasy and the troubled human psyche and the nature of dreams. This painting reminds me of a troubled dream where life is confronting death. The woman and her rosy skin being symbolic of life that is following behind the cold blue creature that is death. The sun is almost fully set, which may mean the end of something. The clouds she floats on are almost carrying her away from the earth. It's a nightmarish and imaginative projection of her fantasy. Oppenheim writes in a poem, "All thoughts that have ever been thought roll around in the earth in a colossal sphere of ideas. The earth explodes and the sphere is shattered, and the thoughts spread across the universe. Here they live on in distant stars." Like any surrealist, logic is not at the center of her work, but rather themes of absurdity, interlaced reality, and poetic connotations. Thank you for viewing, and I hope that you enjoyed my presentation.